Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see you. And today I'm going live sort of impromptu. I was guided to show up to help everybody. I know there's been a lot going on in the world, and I've been talking about doing a meditation series. Today is kind of the kickoff to that, but this is going to be a soft launch because I'm going to do a combination of a little bit of reading and then meditation. It's like with the thumbs up that you guys can hear and see me. So thank you so much. I wanted to give my moderators the day off and just show up and meet with you because I feel like this is important to, for me as a light worker, to just sometimes show up and support you. So that's what today is about. I'm just giving a little bit of time, energy, and love towards you and the planet because we need it right now. And I want to create a video that's going to help you at any point in your life, but especially now. The areas that I want to work on are really, as you can see with the title, focusing on health. So if you're in a place right now where your health is compromised or someone that you care about is sick or you're just worried about your health and well-being, we're going to focus in on that area to make you feel better. And I'm going to do that also by helping you tap into your higher self and really bring in the protection and the energetic shield that you need to be your best and to fight things off, including negativity in your life. I want to bring about a sense of peace because right now, the thing that's kind of counteracting that is fear. So we'll go through the shadow element of fear to help you get to peace. And then also in a time where I went to the grocery store today here in California and the shelves were empty because this is being filmed during the pandemic. So obviously people are in a place where they're worried, like, will I have enough? And what that ends up happening sometimes is like people take too much for themselves and they're not sharing with others. So if we can all get into the space where we're willing to give, like I'm doing today, and also where we're willing to share, it's going to be okay. And the feeling that it's going to be all right is also going to set into motion attractive forces that will bring in abundance. And I believe abundance is not just money, it's support, it's love, it's opportunities. So we'll talk about this in a high level. This isn't just a reading for the month. This is like something that you can use your entire life, right? And I had a really interesting meditation the other morning where one of my friends is a light worker as well, and I could kind of see the energy around them as a diamond. And what I'd like to do for all of you is to set into space or into your place a sort of diamond energy to protect you. And maybe we can do a diamond upon a diamond upon a diamond, really kind of allow for multiple layers of protection. And in times like this, we don't turn our chakras down, we go brighter, because we need to basically blast out the shadow energy. So that's what I'm doing today on a Saturday afternoon here in Los Angeles. And this is also a gift to those of you that are in Australia and other parts of the world that never can kind of come into my live feed. This is for you. All right. So by the way, Apollo's sleeping, but if I have time later, I'll bring him up, but he's resting there in the background. So what I would like to do is begin with all of us just tuning in for a moment. If you ever get a one-on-one reading with me, this is what I like to start with. And this is kind of the appropriate way to do it since we're doing meditation today. Let's tune in. Then I'm going to use 2 decks of cards to look at these different kind of aspects of what's going on. I may just do even a general spread too to tap into what I'm seeing. Then we're going to meditate. And I'll be using sound therapy, and I'll also be bringing in visuals for these different components. All right, close your eyes. And just focus on the physical first. We'll go into the metaphysical painting of what everything looks like. But the first and most important, and I would say most essential step to meditation is simply breathing. So just close your eyes, do a scan of your body. And if there's a place where you're holding on to pain, emotional scars, discomfort, or there's some sort of a physical discomfort that you're also feeling, this is where I want you to push the energy. Imagine that the breath itself is infused with light, a beautiful, bright, white or golden light, and see that light going to that space. Let's take a breath together. Inhale. And then on the exhale, push it into those spaces. Also push out your heart chakra and allow for that space to be bright, white, and also open. I also like to call in angelic assistance. And for those of you that don't really resonate with that, you can call in an ascended master as well. I'm going to call in 3 major angels to help us out. Archangel Michael, bring us protection. Wrap your wings around everybody present today. Give them a safe haven and a sense of being safe in their lives. With this breath, feel that you are actually being surrounded by that archangelic energy. It's bright, it's warm, it's inviting, it's also protective. Archangel Michael can ward off negativity and bring you into a space that is, again, safe. Also connect with your higher self and feel your power coming through. Inhale. Exhale, release. Archangel Gabriel, thank you for being present. Allow each of us to speak, think, and act in the highest good. You're an angel of communication. You're also an angel of bringing us messages and helping us see signs. Help us see the best in one another in times where sometimes we want to see the worst. Inhale. On the exhale, release any feelings of anger, resentment, or uncertainty. Give them to Archangel Gabriel. Perhaps the most important angel coming in today, Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing, release, transformation. Help us today find a way to be our highest selves, our strongest selves, despite any sort of fear that may be setting in, any sort of physical ailments that some of us may be dealing with, any loss that we might also be dealing with. Help us smooth through that part of our life and get into a transition where we feel like we're going to be okay. Inhale. Exhale. All right. In this moment, I want you to see yourself in a circle of light. You can actually take your hands, create heat and warmth by rubbing them together, trace the circle around your physical body, and on the next exhale, open your eyes. We'll go a little deeper into the meditation, but I'm going to use tarot and oracle cards now to give us some insight into what's going on in the world. I want to start with fear, because just as we kind of can go into all of those positive energies, we have to understand the shadow energy coming through, and that's really important. So I'm going to use oracle cards first. I'm going to pull past, present, future energy around this, and I may pull a full spread as well. So let's see what's going on with some of you with respect to fear in particular, and then I'm going to do a whole spread with this as well. All right. So as I look at past, present, and future, so things are going in the wrong direction when we're looking at fear and the state of being right now. And it feels like, how do we kind of get it back on track? It feels like you're kind of going against the tide right now, is what I'm seeing here. Also, danger lurking around the corner makes sense. And there's a reassurance that you can get back into a place of things being sort of in a place of power, or being okay. The starfish to me is the star, which is revelation. Periods like this can bring out the best, or they can bring out the worst in humankind. I believe they can bring out the best. Here in America, we saw that during 9/11. We've seen it in other times of war. There is greatness in humanity, and there is an ability to work through these troubling times. And 5 or 10 years down the line, we can look back and feel like I really learned something about myself and about humanity during that. The most important thing that we have to focus on right now is our own emotional stability, and trying not to let emotions dictate, or I would say overrule common sense. And it really is the fear of the unknown that I think most of us are grappling with at the moment. How can I control something that I don't understand? And then communication that doesn't add up. Differing sources will tell you it's okay, then it's not okay. And also word of mouth, gossip, all of these things that would normally be there to, well, we understand that the Three of Cups has two elements. It can be support, celebration, but it can also be gossip and misinformation. And so just trying to make sense of who you can trust, what you can trust. And this is why I want us also to focus on abundance here, because we see with Ace of Pentacles here, this is really about, am I going to be okay? Will my livelihood be affected? And a lot of us are kind of shifting the way we spend, shifting the way that we work, and we might be worried about longevity there. So I'll try to help with meditation on opening up opportunities there. just the general tone of news and conversation right now can really be in a place where it feels like, how can I get through this, because it's just negative. So a lot of what we're seeing here today is emotions and opportunities kind of turned upside down, especially as we look here at the Nine of Cups in reverse. Obviously, Nine of Cups is a good card that can be extreme. So going from one end to another, feeling like you're kind of in a yo-yo. Also, it's a cycle. When will it end? How can we break the cycle? The good news with this, as with all cycles, is they come and they go. This will also ease. It already is when you look at certain countries. But the biggest concern here is safety and well-being. So what I'd like to do is really open up a channel into the light to move past some of these shadow elements, and let's focus on it. What I'd like to start with is general health. So we're gonna have like 3 little mini meditations as a part of this, and I'm gonna just pull a single card for health to see what the one thing is that we can focus on. I'm gonna keep these cards that we pulled out. So for health, okay, so the octopus makes a lot of sense, right? Because right now it feels like what's going on in the world, it's reaching all parts of the globe. Nobody is immune, but also there is an ability to understand that you can be flexible. An octopus is very sort of flexible. And so this is challenging us right now to change the way we live, change the way we think, and realize that we are just as strong as whatever that is, that there's an ability to become more than sort of the fear that surrounds it. So let's close our eyes now. We're going to focus on feeling strong, feeling bright, and balancing each chakra system so that whatever we have to deal with, whether it's tangible or it's symbolic, that we're going to be okay. So I would like you now to close your eyes, and I think we need to ground ourselves for the first portion. So see yourself in a forest setting. Imagine that it's a warm summer day, that you are in a clearing, and maybe we can imagine that it's as the sun is starting to rise. So for a moment or two, you can actually still see the stars and still see the moon. And there's this gentle glow around the edge of the planet as you are kind of surveying your environment and your mental space here. So just want you to feel how it is to be in the forest as the sun's starting to warm up the earth, seeing a beautiful pink glow that starts to light up the sky as the stars above gently fade, as the moon fades a bit as well. And in this moment, it's really just you in the forest. The birds haven't woken up just yet. And I want you to get a sense of peace and quiet. And I know a lot of you might be feeling too much peace and quiet right now, but we got to get into our heads for a second and just feel the tranquility that can be a part of that. So feel in this moment that it's okay to be where you're at, that quiet is nothing to be afraid of, that actually can be quite a revealing sort of opportunity. If we don't allow for space, how can we ever figure out who we are, what we want to do, what's going on? Cosmically speaking, what the world is going through right now is a little bit of a reset. We're slowing down, which isn't a bad thing, and we're taking stock of what matters. So in this moment before the sun rises, if you only had 1 or 2 things that you could keep close to your heart, that you would want to spend the day doing or being with, think of that person, think of that activity, and cherish the fact that it's there in your life, that you have something that brings you a sense of happiness, love, accomplishment, pride, whatever it might be. Put your hands on your heart, left first, then right. Take a deep breath and just think, I'm grateful for these little things. If you can't think of anything, I'm going to help you with it. Dear God and universe, allow all of us to feel a sense of gratitude for simply being present today, for having the ability to breathe, to think freely, and to choose to go towards this light that we see on the horizon that's starting to show its colors. So as we breathe now, I want you to feel that your heart is connecting to the rising sun. And feel this warmth and radiance as a single ray of light beams straight into your heart space. And I want you to feel that both your heart and the sun that's rising is the same energy, same brightness, the same resonance. And allow this warmth to break through any shackles of fear, break through any feelings of being trapped, of being unable to do what you want to do, and just think in this moment in time, at least for this second or two, I'm experiencing gratitude. I'm experiencing hope. I understand that I have power and that there are things in my life that are worth living for. Inhale. On the exhale, let go of the things that have been kind of making you feel uncomfortable. Push them to the horizon. As the sun begins to rise, now see it connecting beams of light to each of the 7 major chakra systems. Your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, right around your navel, the solar plexus, your sexual chakra, where you hold your creativity, and also the root chakra at the base of the spine, where you hold a feeling of being safe and grounded. See these beams extending towards the sun, and imagine in this moment, you are getting an energetic upgrade. In the crown chakra, you feel that you have a sense of what's right and what's wrong. You have a spiritual connection to your higher self, realizing that you are a divine being. Third eye, the ability to see through things that do not matter, to see the truth, to be discerning. The throat, the ability to speak your mind, to say what matters, to reach out to people and let them know you love them, something that's important in times like these. Your heart, where we just worked on gratitude. Gratitude and also the attitude towards things in your life. Just put a GR in front of that and it changes everything. So moving to your power center around the belly button, where we first connect with our mother. Connect now with the sun, connect now with the earth, and feel that you are a part of what's going on, but you are not a victim to this. You are not someone that cannot exist and survive this. Feel a sense of strength in that chakra especially. In your sexual chakra, where we hold the ability to create. This is something that we'll tap into in a moment, where we create this safe haven around us, a crystalline structure. For now, just feel a sense that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Your emotions can run through that space as much as they can, your heart chakra. And now in the base, feel a sense that it's okay, you're going to be okay. Taking these reassuring thoughts and connecting with something solid. A lot of times I use a tree, but I want to move into something different for this meditation. I want you to see yourself perhaps as strong and as tall as a mountain, something that can persist and exist through generations of the planet, of life in general, something that is wise, that is old, and that can, again, basically survive. So see yourself as a beautiful snow-capped mountain. The top of it, seeing again, connecting with the sun, the center part being strong, and just like an iceberg, you can actually have a connection with the planet that is deeper, stronger, and more expansive than you imagine. See yourself as this mountain and think, I can handle whatever's coming my way. I am strong. I can persevere. And if one little chip off of this mountain doesn't survive, the rest of it is there. So I want you to feel that you have the power to persist. You can lend your strength to others, and it's going to be okay. Think about something in your life that you want to accomplish. See it at the top of that mountain. And now let's physically travel the mountain of your energy. I'm going to pull a card to see what I can do to help you get to the next step. And I see the Mother of Wands reversed. So this is really telling you to worry about yourself and to focus on your well-being. So in this moment, instead of trying to control everyone else's behavior, instead of trying to control something that is basically going on externally, focus on how you think, because wands for me really dictates thought processes and the ability to basically be stronger than things around you and just think, I've got this. And I think that can be your mantra when you wake up in the morning. I can handle whatever comes my way. I've seen worse. Maybe this is something that's challenging me in a way that I haven't been challenged before, but I've got this. I can handle this. Open your eyes and let's take a look at really how to bring a sense of peace on this planet. I'm going to pull another card here to see what might be making it difficult to feel like things are going to be okay. And it is a nocturnal card, the bat. It's the unknown. And so one thing with this also is this feeling that When you least expect it, something can happen. The truth of the matter is life is filled with twists and turns. And if we live in a place of fear, then we're not going to be able to experience the joy as well. The image that comes to mind when I'm looking at peace is kind of like a roller coaster. There are highs, there are lows. We don't spend our time really at those punctuated places as much as we do building up and kind of getting down off of those highs and lows. So I want you to imagine that whatever's going on in your emotional state, you could kind of take it and pull it into a straight line. Really just bring it into a place of being even. So whatever's happening right now, I'm going to use a little sound therapy, and I want you to hear it kind of fading away. Take the negative energy that I saw with the bat, and as I use this sound therapy, I want you to see it grounding into the mountain that we talked about. I want you to see the sun coming up and everything clearing, the fog around the mountain clearing. And I want you to feel like your energy is getting stronger and that you could feel your body getting stronger. And as a result, you're also feeling like you're going to be okay. And there's this sense of peace, like I can handle whatever's happening. So just close your eyes, focus on the thought, it's okay, I'm okay, I feel all right, and I'm sending peace, love, and happiness around the planet. Feel that in this moment, the sun has now moved to the top of the sky, like it's almost 1 or 2 in the afternoon. It's directly overhead. I want you now to take the energy that we've built up in your heart space and imagine that you could send beams of love, hope, and light, not only to the people that are connected in this meditation, but all across the planet. And feeling like you are the Ace of Cups, where your energy is actually bubbling over, and you have the ability now to reach out, send a little bit of extra love to everybody. In those moments of giving and service, we actually are able to receive more. So feel that there's going to be enough to go around. And this kind of helps us get into the energy around abundance. Let me see what's going on with many of you with abundance. So there is a very competitive energy that is coming through when I look at this card. And I feel like there's no need to compete. If we think of, I think of like the plants that I grow in my backyard. Many of them grow very symbiotically. We don't want it to sort of be the mentality of like weeds fighting for this. Think instead that there is room to grow like I think a nice sort of image of this is an aspen grove, right? They're actually all related. All the trees kind of help each other, and there's a system that's created. So let's imagine that we're kind of like a forest where we support each other. We can all reach up for our own light, and we have different sort of places and spaces to be, but we don't have to choke each other out in order for that abundance to happen. So what I want you to kind of program into your mind, and this can be part of your daily mantra, is first and foremost to be open to recognize when abundance shows up in your life. So you have to think of just being ready. I'm ready to receive. So imagine that you're putting your energy out there. The cup is open. I'm ready to receive love and abundance in all forms. And you don't have to limit it or quantify it, but know that at a certain point that you can also allow others to be happy too. Your happiness is not mutually exclusive with someone else's happiness or abundance. So what I'd like to picture is everybody coming through And we see all of these beautiful hands and hearts upraised saying, I'm ready to receive love and abundance. And let's start to see the light coming down into each and every one of your hands and your hearts, opening you up to those opportunities and giving you the insight to recognize those. Close your eyes for a moment. See yourself connected to that web of abundance that wants to flow through. And just like eating, just like sleeping, just like doing anything that's fun, there's a point where you have exactly what you need. So feel that you are going to be satiated, supported, and know when to say when and know when to let someone else drink from that abundance as well. There's more than enough to go around. Inhale. Feel the energy coming into your body. Feel like your symbolic Ace of Cups is being filled to the top. Feel that everyone around you is having that same opportunity. As you exhale, look around you, and instead of seeing empty shelves or empty hearts, you see love, light, and this entire forest of energy around you. Growth, abundance. Long before we sort of like cut down all the trees, there was just this beautiful blanket of green all around the planet. Our heart is that same color. We can create that same sort of blanket of energy. And just know if the trees can figure it out, I think we can too. So just feel like we can all survive together. We can all support each other. And together we're going to be stronger than whatever comes our way. All right, I'd like to now focus on taking us out of our bodies. And this is a point where I just want to kind of help you connect with something higher and brighter and pull you into a diamond frequency, or the best that I can do with that. So give me a moment just to kind of clear up all the cards in front of me, and we're going to take it into a different direction now. I want you to stay connected with either the tree that we were talking about, like the forest, or the mountain that I started to talk about earlier. Imagine that your earthly body is connected to that place of safety. And just for this moment, let's attach everyone to a tree. And I think that'll be a nice place from which we can move outward. And then I'm going to take you into a different space. So picture yourself either on the mountain that is really your energy, and there's a lone tree towards the top. That's you. I want you to lean against that, kind of melt into the energy of the tree in this moment, and take a nice deep breath. Your lungs, the leaves, all breathing together. Exhale, feeling a connection to the mountain, to the planet beneath it. And now reaching up into the leaves, the branches, and feeling that you are expanding out towards the cosmos. In this moment, I want you to see your higher self above you. And just like a star at the beginning, you can just see all of these beams of light. But energetically, you're going to travel through the top of the tree, through the top of your crown, into what kind of looks like some sort of otherworldly spaceship. There are all these facets of light around it. It is literally a crystalline structure. Imagine a diamond, but instead of only having like 6 or 8 facets, it has millions of facets all around it. And it's spherical in the way that I'm seeing it, but there's these little tiny facets here. Each facets of this sort of crystalline structure, they actually represent pieces of your soul, lifetimes that you've lived. For some of you, that there may be literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands or millions of facets, depending on how old your soul is or how many experiences you've had. See our current experience, our current life, our current sort of window on the planet as one of those facets, and enter in through that because that's your familiar source. And as you go and travel through this light beam, I want you to feel that for a moment, it's almost like vertigo. You can sense in this moment that you are more than your body. There's more than this lifetime. There's more than this body. There's more than this experience. And as you reintegrate, it's almost like a program going into a master program or the operating system. You just realize in this moment how big life is, how amazing the universe is. And you feel a sense of, for a moment, you're small and then you're enormous because you are part of this bigger soul space, soul experience. You can see the last 10 lifetimes, the last 100 lifetimes. You've been a man, you've been a woman, you've been rich, you've been poor. You've lived on different experiences on this planet and different reaches of the cosmos. You are ancient, beyond measure. And in this moment, I want you to feel like, wow, this moment that I was experiencing was actually kind of small on the planet. It felt big, but it was small. I look at all of the aggregate experiences of my life and I realize I've got this. And I want you to look out at the different windows that are in front of you. And just like a spaceship, these sort of facets can take you in time and take you in space to experience different pieces of your past. So you can listen to this portion and use it for past life regression or flashbacks. And we may do that in a different meditation in the future. But let's take a moment. Try to look back on your past life, the one right before this, and see if you can remember something. And look at another one that's adjacent to it. See if you can start to get a feel for why you're experiencing what's going on right now in your life, in work, in love, in relationships, in health, and realize it's all part of a master plan. It's like a chess board. You get to decide where to move, but some of the pieces and some of the opportunities you've actually laid out there for yourself. And now start to look at the internal structures of this crystal or this soul space. It's really in a dimension that you're in. And I want you to realize now that there are actually multiple layers, like an onion skin, to your soul, to this experience. Each one has facets. So we're looking at facets upon facets, light reflecting upon light. And it's amazing to see how rich and deep your soul is. In this sense of who you are, in this higher kind of cosmic self, you realize I am ageless, timeless, deathless. I am eternal. We are eternal. Even when our physical mind and body cease to be, that higher grid that we're looking at, we go back to it and we see even more. So you are not limited by the experience or the sort of path that you're going through on this lifetime. You chose it to learn something. And today is a reminder or a revelation of that path, of that fact. Take a moment to revel in your rich experience and feel the energy around you starting to come around like some sort of a beautiful blanket. You feel warm, you feel safe. You're surrounded in your energy. It's kind of like if you've traveled for a long time, you come home into your own bed, you recognize the scent of your sheets, the feeling of them, the sound of your house. If you love someone, you feel them next to you. You feel safe. This is coming home. So as I'm taking you into your higher self, I just want you to feel like you found home. You now have this sense that no matter where we go, what happens, I know that that's there for me. I can tap into it anytime, and I can choose to be like that higher self, at peace, comfortable, strong. Find your body back on earth. Find the crystal facet that was the portal through which you came. See yourself traveling through that crystalline structure back into your top chakra, your crown. Imagine as you're coming into your crown chakra, you can actually see all of these beautiful facets on the top of your head, almost as if your brain has retained some of that crystalline knowledge. You're wearing a crown of sort of like diamonds. And you are bringing an upgrade into your body today. An upgrade that says, I know more than what I'm seeing here. I can see through the illusions, through the fear, through the uncertainty. I know that something better is waiting, not just in tomorrow or next week, but at the end of my life as well. There's nothing to fear because, again, we are eternal beings. We are part of that higher consciousness. And we didn't even go beyond that. We could have connected with the God consciousness, and we'll do that in another meditation, one thing at a time. What I want to do today is keep the portal open and keep a beam of light radiating from that higher self so that you can feel a sense of reassurance and feeling like you're at home, that you're going to be okay, especially for those of you that might be working from home right now. Just feel like I've got this. I know it's going to be okay, and I'm going to figure a way to get through this like I have everything in my life. See that beam now radiating not just through this newly constructed crown chakra, but also going through your body, bringing bright silver energy through each and every cell, through your external chakra as well, through your auric field. And I want you now to imagine that, kind of like in the 70s, you can start to touch these ribbons of light around you, almost like they're these love beads. And I want you to feel like you have all of these beads around you, creating a sort of a curtain or protection of light. What I actually see in my mind is kind of like a jellyfish, and that higher self is the consciousness and the soul space. But there's these tentacles of light that are coming down, but they're little beads of energy. And you can take those beads and wrap them around you and connect with that consciousness whenever you need it. Imagine that as you're walking through the world, you have all of that light, all these beams of light, all these little crystals around you, and you can touch those crystals and connect to the higher self. And each time I kind of reach out and touch a beam of light, I hear a sound. So you can imagine that this is kind of like playing an instrument, and that each time you go into a higher frequency, it brings a sense of calm, it brings a sense of light, and it brings a different insight. So when you feel alone or when you're feeling kind of isolated, see yourself tapping into those higher resonances, hear them in your ears, in your mind, and feel that I've got this. Create some sort of new story, new narrative in your life. And I think these are the main things that want to come through for today. I just want to say that when it comes to health, one of the most important things that you can do is set the intention in the morning when you get up that I'm going to choose to focus on something that I can manage today. So for some of you, that could be clearing the space around you. It could be clearing out negative people in your life. It could be clearing out the negative thoughts. You can choose to experience a sense of peace as well. What am I going to consume when it comes to media? What am I going to do when it comes to meeting people on the streets, maybe that are not in the same resonance that I am? Choosing not to kind of engage with conflict or put yourself in a space where there's a lot of that friction or uncertainty. And then just know that you're going to have more than enough, that things will be okay. Feeling like I can kind of work through anything. It's kind of like the Tower card. It's allowing me to build a firmer foundation, but I have to go through some of this first because like the Tower and the Devil actually set us up for the Star and that higher energy, which I was already kind of fast forwarding you to. So you're now connected to your star, to your diamond in the sky, and you realize that I actually have those diamonds in my energetic grid around me. I have them in my crown. I'm connected to that. I can basically figure a way to get back into that energy. So my gift to you is that you are eternal. You have lived through challenges in this life and in others. You will live through this, and there is abundance, light, and opportunity on the other end of all of this. Let's pull one card before we wrap up, and I might do a little more sound therapy to take us out. So we're back to cups. I think I have the Queen of Cups. Now I have the King of Cups. And the card was reversed, but notice here that we have a swan, right? And I think this is really symbolizing the transformation energy that's coming through all of this. If you can imagine that everything that's going on is just basically helping you be stronger, take a deep breath. And when you come out of this, you're going to have an ability to do something different with your time and your experience. I know for me, whenever I have experienced loss in my life, whether it's the loss of a job or a loss of a loved one, I've actually come through doing something better, doing something different, because I understand that, again, how precious time is, and I want to spend it better. And I think that that's one thing that we've been forced to do right now. Slow down, take stock of what matters, be grateful for that, and figure out maybe have I gone off that course a little bit? Have I somehow lost myself? Take the time that you have now to figure out who you are, what you want, and start to rekindle the fire. So in the last sign that I read for, there was a card that we looked at where there was basically, I think it was the Five of Pentacles, and we were looking up at the sky, and the stars were the pentacles, and there was this little fire. And what I helped everybody do in that meditation was to rekindle their flame or their fire. With these last breaths that we take as I play the singing bowl, I want you to imagine that you can start to see further out. Take this new light that I brought through in that crystalline structure, start to shine the beams out and think about, what do I want to do next? What can I do now? How do I want to change the world? Is there someone that I can help? Start to go into a place of hope, opportunity, service, and imagining, dreaming about what's next. We can't think solely about what we can't do. Start to think about what you can do, and focus on that as I use the singing bowl to kind of amplify the positive thoughts that you have. Inhale. Exhale. Open your eyes. Thank you so much for showing up for my little impromptu session today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll do a more formal meditation where I'm not using cards in the future. As I said, I want to do a morning ritual, and I think the morning ritual meditation will be about 5 minutes maybe. Same thing for the evening one, anywhere between 5 to 10, because I want this to be something that you guys could basically take advantage of on a daily basis. So I'll do something very practical, and those can be very short, but they're kind of going to mirror what I do in the morning and evening, and I switch it up. So I may do a few different ones, but we'll start with one that's easy. And then I may do one on connecting with guides. We had a mini one here that can actually help you connect with your past lives, because you can go through that crystal and see into portions of who you were. And you can even meditate on that before you go to bed. And then that can help you in your own dreams basically see the past. And that's something that is a lot of fun when you start to work with that. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, please feel free to, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, do that. That's a great way to vote on videos like this, because there's no chat room when it's happening. I'm going to show you how to connect, since some of you may not know. So first and foremost, you can always go to my website, and that's nicholasashbaugh.com. You can also join me on social media. Twitter, it's Ashbaugh. On Instagram, it's my first name _ last name. And by the way, if you click the show more under the comments area, right above the comments area, you can see all of this information. The same username here, Nicholas Ashbaugh, it's also the same on Facebook. And if you want to become a contributing member, you can either click the join button here, and anytime that I might do some exclusive meditations in the future for members and things like that. So right now, it's just a nice way to give back, but that's one way that you can connect with me. You can also join me on Patreon. And so Patreon and the join button are very much the same. You can set it, forget it, and get a lot of great content every month. And also available on PayPal. So all that information is below, and I'll put some links in the video when this goes live. Thank you so much for showing up today. It was nice seeing you. I'll be live tomorrow doing a regular reading. So check out my schedule on my website, and you can look at everything that's coming through. In the meantime, much love and light. And Apollo's still sleeping, so I'm going to let him rest. But you'll see him tomorrow when I go live for the next reading. I'll be live both Sunday and Monday. All right, take care. Bye-bye.